You are listening to A Scary State. Whew. And this week we're talking about New Jersey. So, Lauren,
Yes, Kenzie.
let's finally get scary.
I have been here for 2 hours.
In all fairness, we built a fort.
We had to build a fort because Joe has the COVID.
He's
And
got the vid.
he's he doesn't have anything gross. He has COVID, unlike what Mackenzie's making it sound like. So he is in our guest room.
I'm so sorry. So funny. I mean, it wasn't, but like it kind of was. Okay.
So he has COVID.
Not that part. That part's not funny.
That part's on. I have him quarantined to the guest room, like all by himself in our teeny tiny. It's so sad.
And so we're having a sleepover and we built a fort.
But yeah, so we built a fort. It took us 2 hours.
But this actually like looks pretty good. I mean, I might be biased because I think we're pretty dope, but
I like it.
I really think this is like a legit, it's kind of like, it's like a sleepover telling ghost stories.
Aw.
So it's the perfect setting.
And so we do apologize now if the audio is a little funky.
Yeah.
We've really been working for the past 45 minutes trying to figure this out. But we got it. And
Figured out I could turn the fan off in my apartment and it sounds
so quiet.
so quiet.
So, okay, I came up with this fun thing. I didn't tell you yet, but I just thought of it now.
Is it another game at my expense?
It's a game, but not at your expense. Okay. So, we have gotten 2 1-star reviews, which are not great. So, what I am saying to everyone.
This makes me so mad I want to break my phone.
If you guys give us a 5-star review, and this applies to anyone who's already given us one, take a screenshot of your 5-star review that you've put on iTunes and send it to Mackenzie and I through a DM or email or whatever. And at the end of a couple months, I'll put all of those names into a little bowl. We'll choose one of the names of the people who've sent us a review and we will give you some merchandise.
Genius.
Thank you.
That's a great idea.
So please go onto iTunes and rate and review us 5 stars and your name will be entered into a little drawing.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Hell yeah.
All right, but because we're 2 girls who chit-chat too much, Mackenzie, would you like to tell us?
You don't want anyone to break their phone over it.
God, would you like to tell us? Nope, I'm telling you.
No, you're telling.
I'm telling you about New Jersey.
I mean, I can tell you about New Jersey, but
I'll tell you about New Jersey.
All right, go ahead. Tell me about New Jersey.
The Addams family mansion was inspired by a house in Westfield. Because of this house, Westfield puts on an Addams Fest in October. The Addams Tavern is an Addams family-inspired bar and restaurant. That would be awesome.
That would be fun. I'd go there.
I know. Yeah, we should. The whole Watcher thing happened in New Jersey.
The whole Watcher thing?
There is a show about it. I would have covered it, but because of the popularity of the show, I don't want to overload people. It's literally called The Watcher. It's on one of the streaming networks. But pretty much a guy watched a house. A new family moved into a house in New Jersey, and this guy would write creepy letters to the family, saying that he's watching them. And it's been a generational thing. His dad watched this house, his grandpa watched the house. It's super creepy.
What the fuck?
Hoboken was home to the first brewery in America, established in 1642.
Hoboken is an interesting name.
It really is.
Oh, my behind.
Oh, I know. Your wood floor.
Sorry.
It's okay.
We're using all the pillows.
They're the pillars of our fort.
They are literally.
During the Jurassic period, New Jersey and North Africa shared a border.
That's dope.
Isn't that cool?
You know what's weird, though? So the continental drift theory, the theory that essentially proves that wasn't discovered until 1960.
What?
By Alfred Wegener.
Wow.
Yeah, that's as old as that knowledge of Pangea is 60 years old.
Ew.
So when they say that science is ever changing,
it is ever changing.
We literally found that out 60 years ago.
That sounds wrong.
Yeah. Also, did you know that Rosa Parks, I think she died in 2005 and Shrek came out in 2003. So she could have seen Shrek.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't like that either. On to these facts, because I don't like thinking about things like that. Time is just so weird to think about.
Made up contract.
The original Friday the 13th was filmed in Blairstown, New Jersey.
In case you didn't know, we're drinking wine again.
Oh, yeah, we need to. Asbury Park hosted the annual Zombie Walk, and this has been going on for 10 years. It set a Guinness World Record for the largest gathering of zombies twice. In 2010, there were 4,093 zombies, And in 2013, there were 9,592 zombies.
Wow.
On September 25th, 1820, a tomato was put on trial in Salem. I guess there's like a Salem, New Jersey or something.
Oh, yeah.
It was a trial to prove that a basket of tomatoes wasn't poisonous. Farmer Robert Johnson had to eat the tomatoes while those in the crowd waited to see if he died. Spoiler alert, he did not die. And fun fact,
So I guess his tomatoes weren't very spoiled.
And fun fact, their state vegetable is a tomato, but then that brings up, is tomato a fruit or a vegetable?
It's a fruit.
Exactly, but they say it's their state tomato.
Yeah.
Their state vegetable. Devil's Tower, located in Alpine, has a legend of love gone wrong. The legend goes that in 1910, the wife of Manuel Rionda, a sugar baron, was in the tower just looking over the grounds when she saw her husband with another woman. The wife, whose name is never said, threw herself from the tower. It is said that now her ghost appears in the window, screams are heard, and the smell of perfume is reported.
You know what? Never kill yourself over a man.
Never.
You could kill him. Just kidding. Don't do that. That's illegal.
That is illegal. Legend says that if you drive or walk backwards around the tower, you may see the wife, or you may see the devil himself.
You know, I'm not going to lie. If I was a ghost, I would like only come out if people did weird shit.
Oh, absolutely.
Just to fuck with people.
There's one place, I can't remember where it is. It's in some state, but in order to see witches or something, you have to walk around the tower 13 times backwards at midnight. That's what I would do.
Yeah.
Like
I'd be like,
you have to wear your shirt inside out.
Inside out and backwards.
cartwheels.
You have to have a spoon under your pillow.
Well, that's how you get snow.
Well, that's how you're going to get Kenzie. Want me to pop out, bitches, and do what I say.
Do what I say.
Do what I say.
Jaws, the movie, was based on a real event. In 1916, a shark attack on the Jersey Shore left 4 dead and 1 injured.
Damn.
This first happened in
Hungry.
This first happened in July at Beach Haven, and then just 5 days later in Spring Lake, another attack occurred. The shark was caught and found with the body parts of 2 victims from Matawan Creek inside.
Ew.
There's a road called Shades of Death in central Warren County. It is said to be haunted, and along this road you will see Ghost Lake and the Ferry Hole. The Hindenburg disaster occurred in 1937, where it crashed into Lakehurst. This is where the popularity of the phrase, "oh, the humanity," comes from, more or less. A newscaster was talking about it, and he said something like, "oh, the humanity, blah, blah, blah." And now people just say that.
Huh.
Yeah. New Jersey is home to America's oldest working lighthouse. The Sandy Hook Lighthouse is over 250 years old.
R.I.P.
I know.
Yo, did you see? Sorry, not to like totally change it, but you know the shooting at Michigan?
Mm-hmm.
There's a video like going around on Twitter where it's a girl who was at Sandy Hook, like survived Sandy Hook.
Stop.
And she was at Michigan State.
Was she okay?
Yeah. She's okay.
Well, maybe not mentally. That's something
well,
I
right,
don't know
but
how you work through. Like,
I remember, like, you know, Sandy Hook for me is like one of those things that you remember where you were.
Right.
I could not stop crying all day.
Yeah.
I could not stop crying. And then it was almost like after that, I know this is going to sound terrible, but it's like, that's when I became numb, because I was like, if they're not going to do anything after children,
there's literally too many to count.
And so it's like, of course nothing's going to be done. And it's almost like, I don't know.
I know.
You just kind of get to a point where you're like, I want this change to happen. I want things to get better, but I'm so tired.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, how do you keep having that energy to, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Sorry.
No, it's awful.
No need to get all philosophical, but
so saltwater taffy was invented here.
On a lighter note.
Yeah. Serial killer Charles Cullen lived in New Jersey. Harry Houdini had a workshop in Union City. I put work out, but I think it's workshop.
He had a workout routine.
Yeah, in Union City. Shaq was born in Newark. Meryl Streep was born in Summit. And Paul Rudd and Buzz Aldrin were also from New Jersey.
Nice.
I love Paul Rudd.
Yeah, he's pretty great.
He is pretty great. All right, Mackenzie.
Okay, let's see.
You do look so pretty.
Oh. Thank you. That was so nice. You look so pretty too. Yes, you do.
To lie.
I'm not lying. I do not tell a lie to you. Okay. Today, I bring you the story of a cursed road Route 55. I tell you, it's going to be dramatic because I'm holding the microphone. Like, any sort of theatrics I wasn't going to do before is now going to happen.
Fair game.
So, a stretch was added to the road in the 1980s, and it's been a bumpy ride ever since. So, buckle up, folks, as I tell you the haunted tales that curse this road.
It's the dramatic head turns.
Doo-doo. In June of 1983, construction began on a 4-mile stretch of road on Route 55. I can't see. I need to zoom in. I think I need glasses. Oh, there we go. Oh my God, that's so much better. Okay.
Mom will look at my phone and she's like, how do you have your text so small?
You know what I've had to start doing?
What?
Holding. Like, I have started having to move shit further away. But there's also like, what was it? There was something the other day that someone was holding up and I was like, I can't see that. Like, I can't.
When did you go to the eye doctor last?
Before I left for Radford.
Maybe time to go.
Anyway, in June of 1983, construction began on a 4-mile stretch of road on Route 55. This section would connect parts of southwest New Jersey with the Jersey Turnpike. Route 55 was about 22 miles long, and this new section would be through the town of Deptford. Troubles began right away. About 2 months after construction had started, one of the workers was struck and died from an asphalt roller. Another worker had fallen from an overpass when a mysterious gust of wind knocked him over.
A mysterious gust?
A mysterious gust of wind.
Okay.
Another of the workers died of cancer. An inspector died from a brain aneurysm, and another worker's feet turned black from a circulatory issue.
Oh my God. How long do you not know that your feet aren't having circulation? How long? Like, I feel like they would take a while to turn black.
That was not something I invested in to find out further knowledge.
That's the part that's really concerning to me.
There are other things that I looked into, and that was not one of them.
Okay, valid.
It's all true, said Carl Kruger, site engineering supervisor for the State Department of Transportation. I feel like I'm a newscaster.
You just need it like rolling as a teleprompter.
Oh, that would be so much better.
We would be so bad. We'd be like, wait, stop, go back, start over, please.
Yeah. I would panic.
I would too. I'd be like, I'm on a roll, and then I'd mess up.
It's all true, said Carl Kruger, site engineering supervisor for the State Department of Transportation. If you take each thing separately, it's nothing unusual. But when you keep adding them up, many people associated with the job have had an illness or tragedy strikes. 2 other workers suffered from a heart attack. Family members of the crew were getting sick, and a T-Dot van carrying 5 people exploded and killed all 5 people. Oh. No one knows why or what caused the explosion. I'm not superstitious, said Bernie McCabe, site man.
I'm a little superstitious.
What?
From The Office. Michael goes, I'm not superstitious, but I am a little stitious.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Well, I'm not superstitious, said Bernie McCabe, site manager for John M. Rouse Construction Company. But the state people have had a lot of problems and a lot of deaths in the family and that sort of thing. Charles Shoemaker was in charge of a section of the project, and he said he started to feel so much better after he was transferred to a new job. He had developed ulcers during construction and said, quote, "We've had no real problems on construction, but the day the medicine man put a curse on me, my freezer broke."
Oh.
This is where things are going to get interesting.
Okay.
That medicine man would be Sachem Wayadaga, also known as Carl Pierce. Why?
Super Americanized that name.
Well, right, which is why I try to go by the other name.
Right.
So my apologies if I screwed up. Wayadaga was part of the Nantico Lanai Lenape tribe. Don't ask me to do that again, please. Y'all should have seen how fast I spelled independent earlier. Oh my God.
So proud.
It was flawless. It was
the only time it will ever be flawless.
At least I had a witness.
Yes.
Let me get a witness. Right. And on the day construction began on the road. What was that?
What you did?
No. What was that noise?
I drank wine.
It sounded like a rather large, loud gulp.
No, it was not.
It was too.
It was.
I heard it.
That's a gulp.
I don't know. There was something.
I had a swallow.
Anyway, so on the day that construction began, the Sachem and several historians protested the building of the road. They'd supposedly cursed this road. Wayadaga told a reporter all they had to do was detour around the field, maybe 3 or 4 miles, and nothing would have happened. Alternate routes were explored, but ultimately they continued with construction. He told the Associated Press, quote, "In the old prophecies and curses, when you go over the dead, you're risking the curse." He said in a telephone interview, That road will never be safe to travel on. There will always be more than unusual bloodshed.
Oh.
So even once construction was completed, the road saw its fair share of accidents and tragedies. People say that they see apparitions along Route 55, and in one video I watched, they were exploring the road to see for themselves, to see if they could see any of these ghostly things.
Of course, yeah.
And at the beginning of the video, they shared a plethora of headlines of fatal car crashes that occurred along the highway. So headlines included, boy dies as 5 kids ejected from van on NJ's Route 55.
Oh my gosh.
7 dead puppies left on Route 55 ramp in Vineland. Tire blowout causes fatal crash on Route 55. And there was at least 11 more headlines just like that one that have occurred over the years. So here are some firsthand accounts of people's experiences along the haunted highway. This may be bumpy because I didn't actually read all of these. I was like, oh, just... I was like, I'll just collect all of these. And so this is the first time I'm reading them. Okay. This first person, possibly Chris C., said, I lived here in South Jersey almost my entire life. I remember when they were building Route 55, and I remember when and why they had to stop building. It's all true. Workers were killed, machinery malfunctioned, and one man was killed when his own steamroller ran over him. I have never experienced anything really scary there for myself, though I use Route 55 often. I attribute this to the fact that I have the deepest respect for the Native American Indians. But I have noticed that if there is an accident or a broken down car or anything unusual, it is always in the, quote, haunted area.
Jeez.
I'm a local to the area, and this is somebody else. This is someone with the initials MA. I am a local to the area of Indian Curse Road and have heard rumors of this curse.
Is it really called Indian Curse Road? Or is that like the nickname of it?
That's, I think, the nickname of it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. The thing is, these rumors have been quite a reality as this curse has hit pretty close to home for me. My younger brother had 2 of his best friends killed on this road due to a drunk driving incident on prom night back in the early 1990s. This couple came to a party at our home after prom, and although they had not been drinking at the party, they happened to run out of gas while driving home on Route 55. While trying to refill their car from the gas can, they were struck and killed by a drunk driver. There is a memorial posted near exit 50. More recently, a close friend of mine was killed in a freak accident on Route 55 near exit 58 southbound. I drive many nights on that road, and it never fails to amaze me how many cars are parked roadside in the middle of the night. I think on any given weekend, there are 3 or so cars parked there. One of the authors of the article that I was reading had his own experience. He said, I have personally seen 3 cars on fire on the side of this road, and I've talked to people who have witnessed eerie things while driving this stretch of road. This area of highway also seems to have the most disturbance in cell phone reception. Technology has come a long way since the 1980s, but I don't know if it can outgrow the supernatural. Bum, bum. So a limo driver used the highway as he traveled Vineland. Route 55 connected parts of Philly to parts of South Jersey.
Okay.
Like Vineland. So it was traveled often. Mm-hmm. He reported seeing various apparitions along his drives, and there were parts of the road in Deptford that would always give him like car troubles. He had lots of breakdowns and flat tires over the years. One of the other guys in the video said he always got a creeped out feeling whenever he would drive along the road, and he said he could see like cross after cross lining the side of the highway.
Oh, that's so dark.
Yeah. So on that same video, some comments that were left by people, the inflatable ninja commented on the video and said, excellent video, man. I gig down the shore 3 days a week during summer, and I drive the entire length to and from. I saw the remnants of a bad accident last Saturday northbound around the 30-mile marker. Left center lanes were closed, a ton of smoke, and there was a body in the middle of the highway all covered up. It really is creepy, lonely, desolate drive, and you're right about the crosses/memorials. There are a bunch. A lot of time I'm hitting this road after 2 a.m. and it's just like you describe it. And this was before I learned that it was built on a burial ground. Oh. So another comment from a person named Dylan said, never knew this, and I drive over 40,000 miles on Route 55 in the past 2 to 3 years and had a lot of close calls, and it all makes so much sense now. I need to be way more careful.
I mean, at least people are thinking like, I gotta be careful here.
Mm-hmm. Miss Funny Bunny KC commented, my mom's friend just told her on the phone the highway is haunted, so I had to investigate. We just moved to Clayton in August. My first time driving at night on Route 55 was terrible. I feel like every time I'm on it at night, it feels like I'm being swallowed into a void of blackness. Not since I drove through Valley Forge in the dark hours of the morning 15 years ago have I felt so spooked than I have on 55. Another user, Real McCoy, commented, this is the way everybody from Philly takes to the shore. which is Wildwood,
Mm-hmm.
when they want to avoid the expressway and parkway tolls. So Route 55 to 47. I literally never knew this road had such a crazy history. Well, actually, this girl I went to high school with, her father was killed on this road while he was pulled over in the shoulder changing a flat tire. Kind of makes sense now.
Oh my gosh.
I don't know how to say this person's name,
Jason.
but there's an I.
Jason.
Okay, Jason Caruso commented. You can look up the video yourself if you want to see how his name might be pronounced. He said, I grew up, or she, they, this person, I grew up traveling this road and still do it. It's the free highway going to Wildwood. It's definitely a trippy road to be on once the sun goes down, between not having any lights on and random Indian ghost and the deer.
No.
Montgomery
hit 2 deer.
This year?
No.
Oh.
But like in her same car.
Oh.
It was creepy. They've been awful. Both happened on that road.
Of course
like,
it did.
In the middle of the night.
That road is ridiculous.
There was one time we were driving and she was turning to look at me as she was like turning her head as the deer was running out, so she never saw it. But for me, it was one of those things where it literally turned into slow motion.
Oh, yeah.
Where I just like covered myself and I was like preparing for impact. And then it happened. She like freaked out and I was like, that was the weirdest moment. Like I just knew, just hide myself. You don't have time to say anything, but you have time to curl into a ball.
Yeah. Ugh.
Yeah.
Those are creepy.
Yeah.
Well, Montgomery County EAS said, I've been on this road twice and weird things happened both times. First time I was on it, my car's TPMS light came on. What is that?
I think that might have come on in my car once.
What is that?
I don't know what happened. I don't know what it is, but when it happened with my car, I couldn't push the gas. And my car just like, I was somehow able to make it like less than a mile to my house and pull into my driveway, but I couldn't start my car after that.
Okay. Well, their light came on randomly.
It's not a good thing.
With nothing wrong, delaying our trip by an hour. The light never came on again since then, and second time he broke down for no reason. So as you can see, many people have had their fair share of spooky experiences on this highway. One commenter made a good point, saying, quote, aren't all roads in New Jersey death traps? But it wasn't only accidents people saw on this road. A video was posted to Facebook and YouTube, and you can clearly see a woman in a white gown walking along the side of the road. Bill Hand.
Of course you can.
Yeah, no, but really you can.
Oh.
Like I've watched the video, you can.
Oh, there's just always like a creepy white woman walking down the side of the road.
Yeah, no, but you can like legit see her. Well, Bill Hand was the man who captured the video, and that was quickly viewed by thousands who also claimed to see this woman. A radio host said he saw the woman as well, saying, quote, I looked to my right, and in the dark, there's somebody in a wedding dress and a wedding veil carrying flowers. Let me tell you, it freaked me out.
Ew.
So both men reported what they saw to police, and by the end of the week, the police had reported that they found a woman who was in fact alive, not a ghost.
Oh.
And she was a teen who had wandered off from a local children's center.
So then was the whole white dress thing or like the wedding dress and stuff? Was that like a...
Yeah, she was wearing a white dress.
Like a wedding white dress looking thing?
I mean, it was long and it was white.
Ew.
Yeah.
That's still so creepy.
Yeah. So as you can see, it is pretty clear that this road is haunted. The number of accidents, fatalities, and injuries certainly show that the problems have occurred on this route since its inception. So why did they continue to build the road? Why didn't they listen to the medicine man's warnings? It might be because not all local tribes share the same beliefs. In fact, the medicine man wasn't even the chief medicine man of his tribe. He had been hired by local historians to stop the build. The chief archaeologist of the dig said that they found some Native American artifacts, but no evidence of any bodies that had been buried. Chief Roy Crazy Horse of the Rancocas Reservation in Burlington County said, quote, what they found there were a few artifacts that mean nothing to the legitimate Indian people. But what could possibly explain all the tragedies that have lined this road? Could it be reckless driving of New Jersey locals? Maybe this could all be a string of accidents that people have tied together as part of some rationale for a supernatural phenomenon. However, a 2020 poll showed that New Jersey had 547 car accidents, which doesn't even make the top 10.
Oh.
Both Virginia and South Carolina had over 700 crashes that year.
Dang.
New Jersey also didn't even make the top 10 when it was ranked for having the worst drivers. In a 2022 survey of the deadliest roads in New Jersey, Route 55 was not on any list.
Does Maryland have the worst drivers?
I don't remember.
Us Virginians hate the Maryland drivers.
We do. I don't remember, but we were definitely up there as worst drivers.
Oh, yeah.
We weren't in the top 10. but we definitely were like a darker color on the map than like
God.
other places.
Actually.
Yeah. So why is this road known by so many as being the site of tragedies and eerie feelings? Maybe there is more to the Native American burial ground that we don't know. Maybe there was a reason that no bodies were buried in that area, but artifacts were discovered. Maybe it is some other poltergeist spirit that haunts the area and causing havoc on the highway.
Ooh. It's always so creepy when there's one big road or like, area of a road where everyone gets into accidents and like,
Yes.
which is always considered super haunted. It's like, why? What is going on that part of the road?
I don't know. There's always a lot of accidents on 81.
Yeah. But like just the Virginia part or like all of 81? Because 81's huge.
I don't know. There's just always accidents.
But yeah, it's just always so weird when there's just like a road.
Remember that one road? It was called the Woods.
No.
It was the one that went to my mom's friend's house.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. It's called the Woods, and it was fucking creepy as shit. I swear to God, every time my mom drove down that road, I would be panicking. I was convinced something was going to pop out of the side of the trees.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I always think that when I'm driving down like creepy roads at night.
And it didn't help when it was like a really bad snowstorm.
But yeah, Watson was like a road near us that people got into accidents on all the time.
What about Evergreen, man?
That was all like in the same area.
Yeah.
I think Watson like went on to Evergreen.
Oh, but the snowstorm. As soon as we got onto the regular part of the road, my mom was like, see, everything's fine. And then we slipped on ice and rammed into a tree. My mom totaled our car.
I remember that.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so scary.
And I was like petrified because I'm already nervous on that road anyway.
Mm-hmm. And then you just have this thing that doesn't make your nerves any better.
Right. And so then there's like snow and ice and shit on the ground. So I'm like freaking out that we're going to crash.
Naturally, yes.
But the moment that we got on like the normal part of the road, that's where there was black ice and just.
Jeez.
I just remember closing my eyes.
Yeah, just kind of like, I'm just going to wait for impact.
It was such a loud. Like, when you're watching that shit on TV, it just sounds like what it sounds like. But when you're in it, it sounds so loud.
Oh, I bet.
It's so loud. Everyone was fine.
Good.
What you talking about, Willis? We're back.
Yeah.
Not that you knew we left.
Okay, so today I am going to talk about 2 urban legends in New Jersey. The first one are the Gates of Hell.
I'm on a highway to hell.
So Clifton, New Jersey is a city located in Passaic County. It has a pretty big population, and as of 2020, it was the state's 11th most populous municipal with a population of over 90,000. This town isn't just home to thousands of people, though. It is also home to the creepy location known as the Gates of Hell. Located behind the old Black Prince Distillery, the Gates of Hell are a seemingly endless network of tunnels and storm drains that run under the city of Clifton. The gates aren't easy to reach, and one poster on Reddit, whose profile now says deleted, described the gates' location as, quote, "The gates are buried somewhat in the woods. In order to get there, you need to cross over a set of train tracks, descend down a pretty steep hill at a sharp incline, and find the series of drainage tunnels leading to the entrance. You need to go down a 10-foot drop onto rock-infused concrete in order to access it. However, the entrance does not have the same rounded structure as the preceding drainage tunnels. It is rectangular, as if a set of gates truly did belong there."
I didn't picture any of that. I don't understand.
I know. So like our Reddit user told us, to find the gates, you want to find the square entrance that doesn't have any water rushing through it. So all the other entrances are circle. This one is square.
I mean, it would make sense. You don't want to walk through a tunnel with water.
Well, yeah. I mean, it has like water on the bottom, but not like rushing. But it's the weird thing is that it's square.
And not circular.
Circle. Yeah.
Got it. Okay.
Once you enter, you will notice that these are very old tunnels that have an 8-foot-high arched stone ceiling and go on for hundreds of feet underground. There will also be water on the ground of the tunnel, again, not rushing, but there will be water. You walk for a bit until you soon come up to 3 different circle tunnels. It doesn't matter which one you pick because they all lead back to one big tunnel. You keep walking down this dark, wet, and smelly tunnel. Everyone who has entered has claimed that the tunnels are so dark that the moment you enter, it seems like all the light from outside is just sucked into the darkness.
Why a flashlight?
Even flashlights don't help much. So it's dark.
Headgear.
Yeah, but it's still, you can only see so far ahead of you.
Just saying.
People,
if it's 8 foot high, you might as well drive a car. Why are you walking?
Because you have to get down into it. There's no car that can bring you down into it. There will be trash and even blankets and pillows scattered around, soaking wet on the floor of the tunnel. Along the way, there will be openings that lead to the lower levels.
Ooh.
You go into a hole and you use the built-in ladder to get down. So you know like the ladders where it's like metal rebarb on, yeah. That's how you get down.
Journey would end.
I wouldn't even go into the thing in the first place.
Probably.
And these holes, they don't seem very obvious. Like, it would be very easy to miss them, which makes me scared that you would miss them trying to come out. There are apparently 7 to 9 different levels, and you just keep descending deeper and deeper and deeper with these levels. I don't know how you wouldn't get like super, super lost and all like miscombobulated in there. So these tunnels are dangerous from the get-go. They're known to flood rapidly, as it is a drainage runoff from Weasel Brook, a local stream. When it does flood, the water turns rough and is very, very strong. This flood has been described as turning into a raging torrent in an instant.
A raging torrent. Wow, what does that mean?
That it's like raging water.
A raging torrent. Did you come up with that?
No. But that's what all the websites described as, and I was like, that must be a very important word.
I would have looked it up to see.
Well, I know what torrent is. It's like
what's a torrent?
Raging water.
Is it only raging water? Is a torrent, if it's always raging, then why would you say a raging torrent?
A strong or fast-moving stream of water.
Yeah, so you just said raging.
No, but the torrent is the actual water.
But if it's...
So raging water. And the water isn't your normal fresh water. It is reportedly...
It's torrent. I'm having a great time in our fort.
All right, so the water is really bad smelling. And so, okay, water isn't the only concern, though. Back in 2017, a man had to be rescued from the tunnels after falling 20 feet down from a slope of rocks. He had been exploring the tunnels and trying to find the gates of hell. The rescue was difficult, and he ended up having to be taken to the hospital. I think he's all good, but a hospital visit is never good.
No.
There are also rumors that gang activity is heavy down here. Gangs will bring rival members here and execute them in gruesome ways.
God.
Maybe a torrent. And not only is the water and the heights inside a big danger, but not the best people hang out down here. Minus the clear physical risks and the torrent, the police also have warned against visiting. Police have arrested a number of people who are trying to get into the tunnels, not for trespassing, but for weapons possessions.
Oh my.
Those dangerous people were found with double-edged daggers with curved blades, small swords, butterfly knives, Bowie-type knives, butcher-style knives, metal knuckles, and other wild weapons.
I knew what 2 of those were.
They're all really bad knives. The police stated that some of those they arrested found out about the area from Weird New Jersey, which is a website that I use.
That's where I got my story.
That's where I got a lot of my research from.
OMG, look at us.
OMG.
OMG.
The police made a statement saying that anyone caught at the gates of hell would be arrested for defiant trespass at a minimum. But of course, the tunnel holds some paranormal elements and dangers as well.
I would hope so.
Of course. First off, upon arriving at the tunnels, there have been some strange decor reported. Decor. One of those being dead trees that are planted right outside, right before you enter. Upon approaching the tunnels. Yeah, at first when I had my notes, I said that they were planted in the tunnel, and I was like, no, that doesn't make sense.
See?
So, there are dead trees. They're planted exactly 3 feet apart from each other, each with dead cats and dead birds tied to their trunks.
Tied to the trunks?
Mm-hmm.
Someone obviously tied them there.
Obviously, that's the issue. I don't think they tied themselves.
In case it wasn't obvious for other people. State the obvious.
Thank you so much. So much. People have reported just a true feeling of evil when they're standing at the opening of the tunnels. Evil! All right. Stories among kids growing up in the area near the gates have told of people entering the tunnels but never coming back out. This could be due to the tales of people drowning in the tunnels.
Oh my.
From the torrents.
From the torrent.
Or running into unsavory entities.
Oh.
Other legends talk about the tunnel being a popular place for KKK members to meet.
Oh no.
As well as being
They should get caught in the torrent.
As well as being a perfect place for devil worshippers to meet, as well as perform their rituals. Those who have gone in and have come back out have reported finding some wild stuff inside of the tunnels. First off, the walls are covered in graffiti, some of that graffiti being written in Latin.
Oh.
Animal bones, that's super creepy.
I don't even know it's Latin.
You can tell what Latin is. Like, if I looked at something, I would know it's Spanish.
I can barely tell what English is.
Well, that's you. That's a Mackenzie problem.
It is.
Animal bones have been found in the tunnels, believingly left over from satanic sacrifices. Decaying carcasses, satanic graffiti, upside-down crosses, and pretty much anything detailing darkness that humans can possess have been found down in the dark.
Oh my.
While in the tunnels, people have reported hearing whispers deep down in the dark tunnels, as well as chanting. Wouldn't that be so creepy? There are said to be 9 layers of these tunnels, reminiscent of the 9 circles of hell, maybe.
Oh.
And the lower you go, the closer you come to meeting the actual devil, the king of darkness, who is said to lurk around the tunnels. He was drawn to these tunnels by all of the darkness and evil that goes on down here.
You know what? I'm sorry. If I was an all-powerful deity, angel, whatever, I would not post up in a fucking grimy-ass tunnel.
Well, do you think it's kind of like the whole thing, like God is everywhere, so the devil's everywhere?
Depends on if you believe God's everywhere.
Well, if you want to meet the devil quicker, you can do so by finding one of the many secret and hidden rooms that are said to be in the tunnel.
I would just create my own place that's, like, nice. I would not post up in a fucking tunnel.
But you're probably wanting to find the people who are going to come into the tunnel seeking you, knowing that they're like, these people want to find you.
Then I'll put, like, a sensor or something where I can, boop, pop in.
Yeah, maybe that's what it is. This particular room is said to lead to the devil and has some safeguards in place to ensure that only those who are deserving can enter. The door to the room is said to be blocked by large, heavy axes, and only the person who possesses the right powers can move those axes out of the way to enter. These axes are said to weigh thousands of pounds. You'll get confirmation that you're in the right room when you notice the glowing human skull that is contained inside.
Oh my God.
The skull will be the last thing you encounter before venturing further and further into the seemingly too small room. Finally, at the end, if you are indeed the right person, you will meet the devil himself. There are also said to be actual portals to hell located somewhere else in the tunnel, and that portal is guarded by a spirit known as Red-Eyed Mike. You have to gain his acceptance. Not blue.
But red.
Red.
Got it.
You want to gain his acceptance before entering the tunnels if you're going to try to find the portal. Before entering the tunnel in general, you should notice railroad ties above the entrance. Knock on these 3 times and it'll
What's
alert
a
Mike.
railroad tie?
I don't really know.
Okay.
I think it's like those big
So, like,
pieces
I know
of
it when you'll
wood.
see it?
I think it's like the wood
Okay.
that the railroad things are on.
Okay.
In response, you will hear a loud horn sound from within the tunnels. This is Mike indicating that he knows you're there and you are wanting to find the portal. This is also
Mike?
Red-Eyed Mike.
Oh, Reddit. Right.
I know it sounds weird calling him Mike. It is also his signal that at the moment you are safe to enter. But he isn't always helpful. He can turn mischievous quickly. He is known to hurl rocks at people, create strange noises, mimic others in your group, and just overall try to freak you out.
Yeah.
Jeff H. It's freaky. Jeff H. has said that he has heard this horn on several occasions.
Horn?
Yes. The horn that can sound from inside the tunnel.
Sorry.
Jeff says that he has heard this horn on several occasions and has even seen rocks being hurled out of the tunnel with no person visible to have thrown the rock. He also said that once he saw a small humanoid figure run out of the tunnels with superhuman speed to Weasel Brook Park. He claims that he just witnessed Red-Eyed Mike. This portal has been described as being located right at the center of a 20-foot deep, 40-foot across groove. In the center is a smoothed out granite manhole, which just so happens to be the portal to hell, apparently a real one. Though there are no stories online of anyone entering and returning to tell the tale. One of the authors of Weird New Jersey, Ralph Sinisi, said he visited the gates of hell when he was 16. He said it was just as scary as all the legends say. He and a friend actually ventured into the tunnels determined to conquer them. He said it was completely quiet, the only noises being their footsteps and the sound of flowing water. That is why when the pair heard a strange knocking sound deeper within the tunnels, they took off and booked it out of them. His friend claims that he heard a weird soft chant coming from deeper in the tunnels.
Oh my God.
I watched a YouTube video by username The Unknown Cameraman. He is an urban explorer who explored the gates of hell. It was creepy. They would be walking and would keep finding the next entrance, which was essentially just that metal railing I said that would form a ladder.
Yeah.
And it would take you lower and lower, deeper and deeper. Like, no thank you. And it's just a great way to get lost. But nothing happened to them. They just walked around and showed what it looks like inside and how to get to each of the levels.
Okay.
From Weird New Jersey TV, a guy named Ralph reported that he once visited the gates with some friends. He and his friends heard a loud scream erupt from the inside of the tunnels. So he and his friends booked it out of there. Another guy went to investigate with his friends as well. He reported blistering hot spots and cold spots, like completely random ones that would just randomly experience. But his scariest recount was when his friend mentioned that he had been hearing footsteps behind them the entire time they were walking in the tunnel.
No.
They eventually came up to a dead end. So like they were walking and the tunnel just seemed to be blocked off. So it was a dead end. So they turned around and started to head back the way they came. In some impossible way, the footsteps appeared behind them again.
Oh my God.
Which wouldn't be possible because if you're back, right, right. They never saw anyone behind them when they turned around, and there was no way someone could have gotten behind them. The group was freaked out and started sprinting. Those footsteps that had been walking behind them also turned into pounding running feet. Our main guy ended up chancing a glance behind him and glimpsed a pale face with a crooked smile peeking out from around a recent corner they had passed. And of course, another group went into the tunnels to explore. They started down the tunnels and at one point came upon a drawing of a goat's head painted in red, big and detailed. After finally pulling their gaze away from the painting, they turned down another tunnel to continue on. They hadn't even taken 5 steps into this tunnel when they started to hear a faint chanting. It was a female voice that had a musical pattern to it. This is when the group noped out of there.
Noped.
Noped out. Well, 2 of the people in the group wanted to go back and make sure that they had heard chanting and that it wasn't just the sound of the road or some other stupid excuse. The 2 walked back into the tunnel and started to hear the chanting even closer this time.
Oh,
The
no.
same female voice, same cadence. Suddenly, though, a male's voice joined in. And just as quickly and abruptly as it started, it stopped. The 2 froze completely and listened to see if they could hear anything else. All of a sudden, from behind them, they heard a loud thump that sounded like something heavy had just been dropped on a concrete floor. After that, the 2 finally sprinted away out of the tunnels for good. And I have one more urban legend to talk about for tonight. So that was our gates of hell, a place I will never go. It just looks so freaking creepy.
It's so freaky when you tell that story.
Good. All right.
You know I hate ghost stories.
Oh, I know. This legend is located in Bernards Township in Somerset County and can be found on the corner of Mountain Road and Emerald Valley Lane. On this road overlooking...
What name?
I know.
Fancy
It's
place.
beautiful. Emerald Valley Lane. On this road overlooking an open field sits a huge, sprawling, magnificent oak tree that is said to be over 200 years old.
Oh, that's kind of fucking cool.
This is the devil tree.
Oh, that's not cool.
This tree has been at the center of legends about hangings, lynchings, and even suicides.
I take back what I said.
Yeah,
Not
great.
Not a cool tree.
The first legend centers around a farmer and his family. The Great Depression was hitting hard. It was especially hard for a local farmer and his family. Work was slow, no one's buying anything, and this was affecting the family. Sadly, the farmer quickly realized that they were doomed, and soon enough there wouldn't be enough food for everyone, as food was already scarce. In an attempt to have one final happy family moment, the farmer took his family to a nice picnic under the tree. It started out as a nice family lunch, hopefully filled with love, until he killed his entire family to stop the upcoming suffering he knew was imminent.
Oh my God.
After he killed his family, he went to the tree and took his own life. Another legend revolves around the KKK. There's a lot in New Jersey, apparently.
That's weird.
So in the 1920s, Bernards Township was one of the central headquarters of the KKK.
Oh, that's not good.
No. What's gross? Well, all of it's gross, but what's more so gross, there was one incident that the KKK had where members interrupted a Protestant church service with, quote, a miniature burning cross.
Jesus.
They then gave the reverend a $300 donation,
What?
which the man accepted.
What?
So I don't know. So I just wanted to mention like how gross they are, how gross this town, whatever. So as we know, the KKK are known for lynching local African Americans to, quote, set an example. At this time, the tree was in a more secluded area. It sat pretty much isolated out in a field away from curious prying eyes.
Oh my God.
So this obviously became the location of their stupid meetings and their awful hangings. It is even said that there, at one time, had been a branch that ran perpendicular to the ground and was close to it. This became known as the hanging branch.
Oh my God.
One legend from this says that when the moon is a full red harvest moon and the wind is blowing just right, it looks like there are bodies hanging from that branch, swaying in the breeze. It's awful. There's another legend that says that back in 1948, a woman was on a hunting trip with her fiancé when she accidentally shot him. Apparently, she was accidentally shot. But this was actually listed on like a legit New Jersey official website, which I thought was interesting.
Oh.
So because of all the death and the evil that has potentially surrounded this tree, it is no surprise that many believe it is cursed. Some say it is possessed by the souls of the men and women who were killed by the KKK, and the evil that radiates from the tree is from the impression that these horrible events left behind. It is also said that these souls are said to give the tree an unnatural
It
warmth.
was also said these souls
Yep.
said.
Yep. So warm that snow doesn't fall around the tree.
Now I'm listening.
You're listening to count any mistakes.
Yeah.
So any snow that lands near the tree, like in its immediate vicinity, melts immediately.
Oh.
It has also been claimed that the sap runs red.
Oh.
Some people have reported hearing screams and scratching noises coming from inside the tree. Gross. Voices screaming to be released and set free. Also, because of the evil of this tree and the cursed nature of it, it is said that the devil worshippers will flock to the tree, usually after midnight and especially during a full lunar cycle. They will place weird objects in the tree, hoping and believing that the trapped souls in there will transfer their energy to the object, which will then be used to bring misfortune to that person's enemy.
Oh.
Because of that, I guess it's no surprise to learn that this tree may also be a portal to hell.
Yeah, Megan.
Why does New Jersey have so many portals to hell?
They even have their own devil.
Right. There is a stone that sits in front of the tree, and it is believed to be the opening. This belief came because the stone is always unnaturally warm to the touch. The evil from this tree also extends as far as to people who intend to disrespect it.
Yeah, don't fucking disrespect the tree.
Harm will befall anyone who disrespects it.
Harm will befall.
Isn't that good?
Oh, that's good.
Even more harm, maybe even untimely death will meet anyone who tries to cut it down. Many have tried, as the trunk bears the marks of axes and chainsaws that have tried to cut it down in the past. My throat is getting
Leave the
dry.
tree alone.
We could totally do the Leave Britney Alone in here.
We could.
Leave the tree alone.
It is 100% Leave Britney Alone vibes.
Oh, absolutely. Disrespect can also come in the form of people taking parts of the tree home for themselves.
Dishonor on you.
Dishonor on your cow. There are reports of people actually taking some bark home only to see a dark specter in the form of an old man appearing near their beds at night. Others who have even just touched the trunk have reported constantly seeing shadowy figures out of the corner of their eyes. But it may not be too easy to harm or disrespect the tree because legend also goes that a sentinel guards the tree. A sentinel is just like a guard. It's a fancy word. This guard drives an old black Ford or Chevy pickup truck and will chase people down the road until at a certain point it just disappears, leaving the would-be vandal scared and confused. But maybe this legend is rooted in reality. The tree, unfortunately, has suffered from a lot of vandalism. It is said that a local family was sick of people harming the tree, that they started chasing visitors away in their pickup truck. Another story is that some kids came up with the pickup truck story. One would actually drive a truck to scare people away so that he and his friends could drink by the tree and not be disturbed.
Fair.
But because of the tree being vandalized so often, a chain link fence has been put up around it to protect it. Though where there is a will, there is a way, and people have still managed to do things to the tree.
That's like when they closed the gate on the bridge at the reservoir.
Oh, then people just climbed over it.
That we wouldn't jump off the bridge into the reservoir, and then we just climbed over the gate.
Right, exactly. It made it just more dangerous for us.
Exactly.
But if you do touch the tree, you may experience the harm. You may also get into a car accident while leaving. You may experience a specter at the end of your bed.
What if you're one of the people that tries to protect it?
I think if you respect it, you're good.
Okay.
It's just mad if you are mean to it, but also don't touch it because it doesn't like that.
Okay.
But maybe the most commonly reported consequence.
Respect consent.
Yes, because if you don't consent and you touch it, one of the things that it says will happen is your hands will turn black.
Well,
it is a strange oil-like substance that is very difficult to remove once it's on you. One website, though, says that this only happens if you try to eat at a restaurant after.
What?
I don't know. One report said that. But mainly, it is believed that this black stuff is ash from hell.
Ooh.
So, of course, we have some experiences. One guy told a story about going to the tree. He had been warned many times that you should not touch the tree or something bad will either happen to you or to your car.
No touchy.
No touchy. There's a lot from that movie that worked for this. Well, this guy had just had his car serviced, even had a new fan belt installed, so he decided to try his luck.
No
it was
touchy, and the quote from earlier, not from the same movie.
No touchy?
Yeah.
That's from Mulan.
No, it's not.
What's that from?
Emperor's New Groove.
You're right.
Dare you question me?
So, it was cold out, either November or December, when he and his friends decided to go to the tree. One of the first odd things they noticed was that there was no snow around the tree, like it had all melted. But regardless, throwing caution to the wind, the guy went up and touched it. After looking at it for a little bit, the guy and his friends got back into their car and drove away. But not long after they were back on the road, a big black truck with obnoxiously bright lights, you know the ones I'm talking about,
yes,
got behind the guy and started tailgating them. At this point, the guy and his friends were cruising at 85 miles per hour down the very windy road.
Oh, no.
They were terrified when all of a sudden the truck with its obnoxious lights disappeared.
Ooh, don't like.
But at that moment, the fan belt on his car snapped.
Ah, what's that?
A thing that makes your car move.
Oh.
But the one he had just gotten serviced.
Oh.
They reluctantly pull over, and this is where his story ends.
What?
That's literally all he says. He doesn't tell you any more about what happened after they got back on the road.
What the fuck?
Yep. Yeah, I was like, hello, we are invested in your story now.
That's a cliffhanger.
I know. Another story is about another group of friends who didn't heed the warning and decided to touch the tree. They even went so far as to take a Polaroid of the tree. When they got back to their car, they looked at the now developed Polaroid. In the picture, they could clearly see a woman in a red dress hanging from a brown noose on the right side of the tree, which obviously hadn't been there when they took the picture.
Right.
Another story comes from a man named Dave Hochman. He visited the tree when he was younger. Pitch black, nothing around, he says. A friend of ours had an axe and was going to chop the tree down. We got to the tree and walk up to it. The guy takes a big swing. Axe head breaks off as soon as it hits the tree.
Oh my God.
The axe head went flying back, he continues, and missed the neck of the axe swinger by about 3 inches. The tree trunk was unscathed. We left very quickly.
Yeah.
And then 2 more stories. So Steve K. from Weird, New Jersey said, quote, as we sat on the branch, we began to hear noises coming from inside the tree. When these noises
Inside the tree?
inside the tree.
Inside the tree.
When these noises grew even louder, a big bang sounded and a burst of energy came from the tree, sending myself and my friend flying into the air. When I crashed to the ground, I landed on my ankle, breaking it in 2 places.
Goddamn.
And then Tim posted on hauntedplaces.org back in 2015. He said that he had a friend who disrespected the tree by kicking it back in 1984.
That's rude.
Back in 1984, like so specific. Well, 1 year later, to the date, his friend was vacationing in Vermont with his wife. Somehow, a tree fell onto their cabin, pinning the guy to the floor for 2 days, where he eventually died from blood loss. His wife was also killed in the accident when a 7x7 beam fell and crushed her.
Oh, shit.
The guy's cause of death that caused him to bleed out, a tree branch had punctured his thigh.
Oh.
So there you have it, the gates of hell and the Devil's Tree in New Jersey.
I wonder if my road leads to...
I was wondering.
Like,
it would
shit.
make so much sense.
Goddamn.
Car troubles, accidents, injuries.
Maybe that's why, like, Jersey drivers are known for being, like, crazy, because they need to get very quickly.
They have to avoid things.
One place to another, because if they don't, they're going to get, like, eaten or something. It all makes sense now.
I mean, there's a whole freaking website called Weird New Jersey.
Yeah.
It's weird.
It's weird.
Well, thanks for listening.
Hopefully.
Follow us on all the things.
Follow us on all the things.
Rate and review us on all the things.
Rate and review us on all of the things.
I think that's all we have. So
That's all we can muster.
stay scary.
Stay safe.